What's up, guys? Here's another tutorial for this bustier tutorial. Please and please, guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be so glad if you can do so for me. I'll be so glad. So this is a new tutorial. If you love this style, so please wait and let's start with the tutorial. So now that's my starting point. I'm using the edge for my starting point. Then I measure my bust line. That's my bust line. Then from my starting point, my starting point will be my shoulder line. So my bust point, from there, from my shoulder line, I measure my under bust. My waist, front waist will be different from my back waist. So my front waist is 15.5. That's what you see me measured. Then from my shoulder down to the length of my pattern paper, that will be the length of my fabric. So now I'll measure my neckline. I use 3x3 for my neckline, so I connect it together. So that's what you see me doing. I connect my neckline together. So now I'm trying to make sure the pen I'm using is very visible. So from there, I measured my shoulder line. So I did a mistake there. I will still correct it. I start measuring my shoulder line from where my neckline stopped, which is not supposed to be. My neckline my measurement is supposed to start from the edge. So from there, I measure my chest line, which is 7 inches. That is what you see me connecting. I measure my chest line. You check your own also. That's my chest line. So from my shoulder line, I come down by 1 inches, then connect to my neckline. So I realized there was a mistake. This is where I realized there was a mistake from that shoulder line. So I adjust it back, which is 7 inches, then come down by 1 inches, then connect it back to my neckline. So that is what you see me doing. So the other line is incorrect. So that's the correct line. So from there, from my neckline, from my shoulder line, I divide my shoulder line into 2. I connect the 7 inches to the 7 inches I mark from my shoulder line. I connect it on my chest line. Then I draw a straight line. Then check the half of it. Mark the half of it. Then after that, I measure my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.5. That is what you see me doing. So yeah, the half of my chest line, that line, I measure the half. So now I'll measure my bust measurements. My bust measurement, I marked it, then connect it with the half of my shoulder line. I come in from that line. I come in by ½ inch for me to be able to avoid the bulge on that shoulder. So I connect it with my shoulder line up there. So that is what you see me doing. So I connect my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.5 inches. I connect it all through down to the length of my fabric. You see it. I'll still show you guys very well. So from that shoulder, I divide the shoulder by 2. So then connect the nipple to nipple measurement line. I connect it with my shoulder line. So that is what you see me do. I connect the line together. So from my underbust, I start measuring from my underbust. I measure ½ inches in, ½ inches out. Because I'm not too busty, so I use ½ inches in, ½ inches out. If you are busty, you can use 1 inches. So I connect ½ inches together all through my lines, all through my hip line. Look at it. So I connect from the underbust, I connect it to my bust line with my cuffs. You can see what I did. Now I don't want my neckline to have I don't want too much cleavage, so I come up from that chest line with 1 inches to avoid too much of cleavage. So now I want to remove the bulge, so I come in by ½ inches. I'm trying to tighten the neckline, come in by half inches, come out by half inches. So I connect it with the bust line with a ruler. You can use a straight ruler. I just connect it. So I've removed the bust that might comes up from that place. So I tighten that place. So from now, then I start measuring my horizontal measurement. So I measured my bust line. I measure my bust measurements divided by 4. I marked it. Then my underbust, measure your underbust round. Then mark, so whatever you get, your underbust round divided by 4, I marked it. Then the half inches I use for my dart, that is 1 inches. I added it up 1 inches. Don't forget. So from my waistline to my waist divided by 4, then I added the half inches I removed also. Don't forget, it's very important. I returned it back to it. So 1 inches also. Then I'll come down to my hip measurement. My hip measurement is 40 divided by 4. So then with the 1 inches also for my darts, so I added it. So 40 inches divided by 4, that is 10 inches plus 1 inches, that's for 11 inches. So I'm trying to connect my lines together here. Please guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This will go a long way for me. So just follow this tutorial, you understand very well. So now I want to get my bust that measurement. So that will be my shoulder line from my shoulder to my waist in the front, minus from my shoulder to my waist in the back. So mine is 14.5 minus 15.5. 15.5 in front, 14.5 at the back. So that is 1 inches. So I come down by 1 inches of my bust line, then I connect it to my dart leg. So I connect the darts also, the darts on my chest line there. I connect it also. Then I'll cut out my fabric. Just watch what I want to do here. So I try to cut through the shoulder line for me to be able to close up that bust that you are closing it up. So I'll cut through that bust line now. Don't cut it through all through, just cut it almost to the tip, then place it like this. Then I'll tape it down all through. I'm just playing around with it. So just tape it, do it the way I did just now, then sellotape it all through down. So now I'm going to cut out my pattern paper also. So at that place, if you sellotape it again, if you sellotape that place, you will notice that it's not straight again. So just use your pencil to connect it together. Just use your pencil to blend it together. So look at what I'm cutting. I'm trying to cut out my pattern paper again. So I'm trying to cut it out. Trying to cut, that's the shoulder line. I'm trying to cut it out all through. Just watch what I want to cut. You will get what I'm trying to say. So that's the neckline. So please guys, please subscribe to my channel, and please on your notification button so that you will know whenever I upload a new video. Please guys, it will go a long way for me. Thank you for doing that, guys. I'm so grateful. So cut all through. Look at what I'm cutting. Be very careful of what you are cutting. So I'm cutting out the darts. So look at it. I'm cutting them out all through. So look at what I cut. So this is what we have for our pattern paper. So here is what we have for the front. So that our armhole, I'm going to tape it together. I'm going to tape it all through together. What we cut just now for the upper part, I'm going to tape it together because after taping it together, I'm going to fold another fabric. That's another pattern paper. Fold it, then cut it on it to give us the two. Look at what I'm trying to explain for us here. So look at it. I folded it, then cut it for us to get that neckline. So from the other armhole, I come in by 4 inches. then I'll connect to the edge of the other side. So you mark a straight line first, then connect to the edge of the other side, just a tip of it. Look at what I just did just now. So if you measure the shoulder will not be equal again, but don't worry, when we get to the sewing tutorial you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm cutting it out to get that neckline shape. So look at it. So this is what we are going to have. So look at it now here. So that's what we are going to have. So that's the pattern for our front. So we are going to cut the center front and the side front together in 2 places. So this is the back. So don't forget, I'm folding my fabric into 2 for the back. So now that the same lines I use for my bust line, that's what I'm using. So from my waist in the front, I measure from my waist to my hip line to avoid shortage of fabric. You know, my front waistline is longer than my back waistline, so that is what I measure on my front to get exact line. So I measure it my back waistline, which is to my hip line, which is 8 inches different. So I took it the same measurement here from my waist, so I measured down 8 inches different for my hip line. So that is what I just did. So now come back to my neckline. I measure the same thing. I use 3 by 3 also. So whatsoever I measured in the front, I use the same thing at the back. The back is very simple to make actually. So I measured 7 inches for the shoulder. I come down also by 7 inches. I come down for my chest line also, which is 8 inches. I made a mistake in the other one. In the other front explanation is 8 inches, not 7 inches. So I come down for it, then measured my so I come in by half inches, the way we did for the armhole. Exactly what I did in the front, I did the same thing at the back. So just watch me. Then I measure my bust line, I connect it together with the half inches. So look at it. So I connect it together. Then my dart measurement, that is 3.5. I marked it also all through down. That is 3.5. Just watch whatever I'm doing, you will understand and get it very well. So 3.5, I measured it. Then come in by half inches, come out by half inches, the way we did the other time. So I connect this particular one with my chest line. Look at what I'm doing. I connect it also to my hip line also. Look at the dart we did. You know, we start from the underbust in the front pattern, but on this back pattern we start all through from the waist. I measure my half inches from the waist, half inches in, half inches out. So then I connect it with my chest line, then connect it back to my hip line also. Then I measure my waist, my horizontal measurements all through for me to be able to connect it together. So just watch what I'm doing. So that is what I'm trying to do here. I'm connecting everything together. Connect everything together. So now here is the magic. Don't forget, fold your fabric into 2. Don't forget. So now I want to get the neckline for the back. So from the bust line, chest line, I come up with half inches, then connect it as a cuff to my dart line. So as you see me doing it just now. So now from my I want to tighten the back measurement. So I'm tightening it from I use 1/4 of an inch. You are not supposed to add it also on your waist. Do not add the inches on your waist, so don't touch that your waist. So I just added 1/4 of an inch, connect it to your waistline, the normal waist, the waist that connects it, then connect it also back to your hip line. Start it from the edge of your that's from the bust line edge. So I connect, from the chest line edge. So I just use that to tighten the back. So now from that folding at the back, I measure 1 inches. I'm supposed to measure 1/2 inches because later I realized the 1 inches will be too much for me. I will later cancel it, so I will measure 1/2 inches instead. So look at what I did. So the 1 inches I measured before, let's assume the 1 inches is not there, so I used 1/2 inches. That place will be cut off. So from that my 1/2 inches, now I'm going to come out by 1 inches. That will be my loops, where my loops will be staying. So I come out by 1 inches. From that my 1/2 inches, I come out with it. So that's the 1 inches I did first. I cancelled it. So from that my 1/2 inches again, I like I said earlier, I come out by 1 inches. So I connect it all through to the hip line. I'm still going to show us very well so that you see what I'm trying to do on the down part too. So now from that my lines, I'm just going to create a smaller lines for my boning, where my boning is going to stay. I'm going to draw the lines, just a little smaller lines. So that is what you see me doing, what I want to do just now. So I just connect it all through, just a little small lines, because that's where my boning will stay. So the boning is not up to, let's say, 1/2 inches or so. So I connect it straight down to my hip line. So that's what I did. So that is that place. That's where the loops is going to be. So that place, I'm going to cut the 1/2 inches, the first 1/2 inches I measured. I'm going to cut it off for that opening at the back. So now for the opening at the back, I come up by 4 inches. I come up by 2.5 inches for my neck. Then from my armhole, I come in by 4 inches. So I connect it together like so. So that's where my button will be at the upper side. So I'm going to cut out my fabric. So I'll cut that place off. I don't need it. That's where my opening will be. That's where the opening will be. I don't need that side. So I'm going to cut out my pattern paper to show us what we have been doing. So carefully look at what I'm trying to cut. Don't make a mistake, please. So look at it very well. So I cut it out, cut the neckline also. Cut the neckline also. I'm going to cut out. I've cut out the back, the 1/2 inches I was talking about. I've cut it out. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please and please. I don't want this video to be too long, so there is another video for how to sew these masterpieces. Please subscribe to my channel and put on your notification button so that you'll be the first person to know when I upload this new tutorial, this very lovely tutorial. Please guys, don't forget. At that down part, I'm still going to do the design on the down part. I will do it on my fabric. That's why I did not do it on this pattern paper. So please guys, just put on your notification button for you guys to know when I upload the masterpiece of this video, the sewing tutorial. That's the sewing tutorial. If I add it to this video, it will be too long for us, so I don't want it to be too long. So that's why I did another video for the sewing tutorial. So now this is what we got. So that's our back. So that's the back we cut just now. So this is it. Look at how nice it came out. So that's the back, then the front. Please guys, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much guys, I really appreciate. You can see me shouting up and down, subscribe. I'll be so glad if you can do so for me. So that's our pattern paper. So on to the next tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. Watch the next tutorial for the sewing tutorial. Thank you guys. Bye.